Hey everybody, I'm back. The last two posts I've been talking about what would a hero do, and my vlog yesterday, a couple days ago, talked about how a hero would defeat evil. Like that's what makes heroes heroes. They defeat evil. But that evil has to be something that everybody agrees upon. What is evil? Because if not everyone agrees what is evil, then he is destroying something that other people value or don't want destroyed. Or the hero, she's doing something that not everybody would agree upon. So, some things that you could talk about that, well, what are these things that are evil? Well, you look at when the evil has really affected our world, particularly the totalitarianism of the 20th century. Pretty much everyone would agree that Mao was evil, that Hitler was evil, that fascism was evil, that communism, as employed by the Soviets, was evil. I went to a Kansas City Royals game, and it was sometime where they had a veterans tribute. It was not a Memorial Day thing, but it was a veterans tribute, and a bunch of the World War II veterans. There's very few around still that are in good enough health, but the ones that were there, they were at the Royal Stadium, and they went down onto the field, and I looked at those men, those old veterans that are not in good health, some of them just hobbling out onto the field. And I looked at them and I started tearing up because I thought, those men and those women, it's those people that are responsible for the world that we have today. It's unreal how they fought in World War II. World War II was the battle of good versus evil. It was trying to stop this man named Hitler and his regime and their ideal of just pure contempt and hatred against the Jews, and just unbelievable hatred for no good reason. So we at that time, most of the world agreed that that was evil. Hitler, of course, and his group, they didn't think that that was evil. They thought that was the best way to help the German people, was to eradicate the Jews. And they had all their ideals and all their rationale for this, and it almost made it seem logical. And in a post World War I Germany where people could barely feed their families, he gave them an economy, he gave them Volkswagen, and he gave them all these things that they could have jobs. And Dr. Peter Kreeft said, well, it was back in those times where people would go, well, yeah, Hitler, he's going to really stimulate the economy and improve life, and he's going to create jobs. And yeah, he has this kind of bad idea and these weird ideals about the Jewish thing, but you can't be a world party vote or one party voter. And well, that's what it became. So most people would agree that that was evil. What else? Most people would say that reducing freedoms is evil. Almost that seems to me today would be a silly argument as seatbelts. When the government said that seatbelts were required by law, there was an uproar from many people saying, you're taking away my freedom, my right to choose whether I should have a seatbelt on or not. Things like the Patriot Act that President Bush instated, George Bush, and people thought, well, we're trying to protect us overall, but we're decreasing our freedoms. The government can listen into phone lines and read emails and things like that. Other things that are, obviously evil, most people would agree, I'm a good person. It's not like I've killed anybody. I'm a pretty good person. So generally, murder is seen as evil. Beating children, harming children is universally seen as evil. So if there's any, so these heroes, if there's, heroes would go and, like the World War II veterans that were heroes, they go and stop fascism and Nazism from spreading. And, our police force, they're heroes for trying to stop murders and stop harming children, things like that. But there's a lot more gray areas that come into this. So, something like the really big gray area, the things that really are dividing us. What would a hero do? If there was this hero to come along and save us, what would that hero say about abortion or choice? Is it that a hero would enact policy to try and save us from those things? And what would they do? And other large gray area things. What politically would a hero act politically? We think of heroes in terms of the Avengers as destroying this evil force or people, but is good or evil? What would a hero looking like in the modern sense? Would a hero be political? Would a hero work for religion or for a church? Would they work for education or for schools? Would they work for a nonprofit? Would they be trying to feed the hungry? What exactly would a hero do in modern age? My friend I was talking to, he just said that, if I can't do anything else, I can at least cause change and, do good in my world and the people that I can affect. I think it was Gandhi that said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." So a couple lingering questions. A good discussion always leads to more questions than answers, it seems. But some questions for you to leave in the comments. Your answers in the comments would be, what are some of those clear evils that a hero would destroy? And then what are some of those gray area things that, what's good, what's evil, and just, perspective, how much does that matter? And what exactly does it mean to be good or evil? Getting really philosophical, but bring that down to what specific things would a hero do? And if there was something that would be controversial, what would they do? One quote that I heard one time was, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Right now, since whatever 2003, when George Bush enacted the war on terrorism, war on terror, we're trying to stop terrorism, stop killing of innocent people. So there's another gray area that you could discuss and leave in the comments. Some kind of heavy stuff, but really important things. What is the greatest good that a hero could do for us? And what would they do in the modern age? Looking forward to reading your comments. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.